Good morning from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm. It's 8:46 a.m. on the 2nd of December 2023. I'm off to the markets with Jared today. He's picking me up at 11 a.m. And I'm so anxious. This is the constant state of a complex PTSD survivor, people. Not survivor. Thriver, warrior goddess. Upgrade, babies. Anyway, so Mama T, the Tanya, even just put on makeup because I was going to go without makeup today because it's so hot. But I look like a ghost. And I want to make a good impression, for any customers that might come along. And I don't want to look like a hungry ghost or desperate or poor or ineffectual. So the early training and programming, let's call it what it really is, brainwashing from my first boss, Susie van der Kwast, of Susie's, oh goodness, I wasn't coughing before I started this video, of Susie's Coffee Lounge fame in Wellington, New Zealand. Used to drag me out of bed at the early hours of the morning via her husband picking me up for work and shriek at me to throw on makeup. So here we are, all made up. But it's still me under this mask. I'm still a little old lady. I'm still a Baba Yaga crone, spinning on my little hut in all four directions, going nowhere but everywhere in all dimensions and time, space and glory. Well, that's my story so far. I don't know if it makes sense really, but I'm working it, baby. I'm working it, babies. I'm working it, babies. I had a very rough night, very ill after that ultrasound and all the extra fluid I had to drink and the other ickiness, and oh dear goddess, I don't want to do this suffering much longer, but here we are, made up, ready to go for another day. And oh, by the gods, if I'd had a partner with me last night, I was so ill, it would have been just such a luxury and a privilege and a delight just to have someone just to sit with me and cuddle me a bit. But that's not the cards the gods dealt me. Yet again, I'm stymied by, But the cuddling is supposedly going to happen, so I'm going to hold on for that little bit of sweetness when and if it manifests. I have to get my fan, people. I've put my air conditioning on and the makeup is making me schwitz like a hog. So here we are. Back in the room. Honestly, why did I put on makeup again? Oh, that's right, brainwashing. Wanting to look nice for my customers at Kilcoy. We can do this, people. We, the Tanya, the Miss Five Brat and Mama T can do this. We are integrated. Never fear, we are here. But yes, lack of sleep, peeing, skirting around a bit of a hypomania. And but I've decided to do another journal reading because I won't get to do it later because I'll be at the markets all evening and night. I won't get home till late at night and I'll be too knackered. So here we go. We don't have a lot of time, so I've got to focus, get busy, live my best life. Don't you love it? Today's memories of the 2nd of December 2023. Just fix up my bits. Friends and neighbours sending me delight water lilies blossoming. They're actually put leaves out. I don't know if I'll get any flowers. Didn't get any blooms last year. I was really disappointed. Probably won't either this year because I didn't change the, I didn't repot them and put fertiliser and all that wonderful yummy things that water lilies need to bloom. So yeah, they won't flower. It's my own stupid fault. But, I'm letting things get a bit slack really because I'm just chronically unwell. So next year there will be blooms because I'm so annoyed about the fact that I won't get blooms again this year that I've stored it away. Repot those lilies, girlfriend. I probably could still repot them now. It's a bit late. You're supposed to do it in spring, but oh well. I'll think about it while I'm at the markets. My water lilies blooming in muck and mire because they are a symbol of me, right? Yes, that's so accurate description. And here we go, blooming. Water lilies blossoming, letting go of the vestiges of my past. And here she is. Oh, my favourite. I love her so much. My pink. Oh, are we even? I can't see. I can't see if you can see. Are we even? Oh yeah, there we are. Gotcha. Straighten up, Tanya. Straighten up. Anyway. My pink night flowering. She flowers at night. I like planting things in the garden that do unusual things. Like my night centre jessamine just died recently, but she actually has the most wonderful I need to get another one, aroma at night that would just drift in through the living room windows and also into my bedroom, and it was so luxurious and sensual and aromatic, and I really loved it. When you don't have a man and you're not preoccupied with other things, you have to have these other sensuous delights in your life, otherwise life becomes very dull and boring indeed, and a bit pathetic. So women who live alone like me and have done for 29 years, that's a hint. Ennoble and enrich your life. Doesn't have to cost a lot. Do lovely things like have wonderful, shout yourself a perfume once a year and have wonderful, essential oils around the house and just fragrance up your house occasionally. And if you really want to, no, I won't say it because I'm about to enter into that new echelon of life. I'm not giving away all my secrets. But let's just say there's certain essential oils that the gentlemen's very much like. If you burn it, it does something to them, in their olfactory senses. So, but I won't cheat. I'm an authentic woman. They can take me as I am or fuck off, which is what they usually do. They usually fuck off because they can't handle my energy, right? So this shall be an interesting exercise in magic. And anyway, I don't know what I'm raving on about. Things haven't happened yet. Calm your farm, Tanya. Calm your fucking farm. So, but anyway, I segue to tell you women who are lonely and a bit pathetic and, well, I'm not lonely. I'm really not. I have a wonderful time with my life. But who are a bit, isolated and marginalised through no fault of their own, because your kids fuck off and leave you when you think you're dying and all the other things that happen to me. Like, what the fuck? I mean, I almost have to laugh. I am laughing. Anyway, so if you're feeling a bit drab and a bit lost and a bit neglected and a bit abandoned, a bit unloved, put on some nice music and dance wildly and shamanically and tribally and cast all those evil spirits out of your body, mind and spirit, out of your house, out of your garden. I don't know where they're going to go, but send them back to the original source and just, delight in life. Delight in your life. Don't worry about all the people that let you down and crawl away or just seep with envy and spite. Just let them all sizzle in their own frizzle while you continuously live your best life. Or as I say, let them go be awesome somewhere else while you maintain your own awesomeness and your own integrity and your own body, mind and spirit. Look, even me, having to go to my ultrasound last night, 6:30 was my appointment. 6 o'clock comes, I was supposed to get there 10 minutes earlier, right? But 6 o'clock comes, massive thunderstorm. I thought, oh yes, the gods are rolling in perfect alignment to match my energy. Here we go, babies. It's all happening in a far out way. So I grabbed my umbrella and I left at 6 o'clock way too early because I thought Greenslopes Private Hospital, it's very hard to get parks around there. Thankfully it was late in the evening because there were plenty of parks. Then I had to intrepidly march there in the pissing rain with thunder and lightning. I thought, oh, thanks, I'm probably going to get electrocuted on my way to the hospital and end up like a potato chip, like I talked about yesterday, right? Be careful what images you place into your brain, because at the moment, I don't know what's happening with my brain, but it's all manifesting almost as if instantly. I have $20 million and a wonderful man who adores me. Anyway, so I get there. I did get there, but I was a bit, what the actual fuck kind of thing. And I said to the receptionist that I've come early because I was supposed to be here 10 minutes early anyway. But there's a massive storm outside. And I said, I had to intrepidly navigate that. And they just nodded. Honestly, it's just bizarre. But anyway, it was not a very pleasant experience, but nothing medical is pleasant anyway. And then last night I was up all freaking night. So, honestly, it's miraculous, people, that I'm even still plugging on at now, 9 a.m. in the morning, wide awake. I woke up at 7, like, what the actual fuck is wrong with that? Set my alarm for 8 a.m. But that's my nervous system. It's so activated that it even says, get up, be ready for anything, Tanya, because this is the time of your thriving now. It has arisen. No more lying in bed, wallowing. Get up, show up, keep up. Oh, dear goddess. I'm going to have a breakdown if this keeps up, seriously. But it's okay. I have one after all my overactivity. So I'm quite accustomed to that, and it's fine. It's like, first comes the storm, then comes the sunrise and the fallow lying around, splonging, waiting for the next energy wave to push me to the next destination in my spirit, wherever I'm meant to be, or whomever I'm meant to be with in that given time, in the space-time continuum. So here we are. Today I'm going to be out with my friend Jared, and he's so excited, and he made the most beautiful fairy signs for both our businesses, because both our businesses are, dedicated to the fairies or fairy orientated, because it's the fairies that are driving me like muses. And the trouble with the Greek muses, right, is the Greek muses used to inspire the musicians and the artists and the sculptors and the writer, whatever it was that, was your field of expertise. But they would muse you, but they would literally work you to death. So please don't do that. I'm already splonging in the shadowlands between life and death. Just be gentle with me. Really. I'm giving orders to fairies. How crazy is that? As if they care what I fucking think. But if they came into my life to support me, to thrive in my old age crimedom. Did I just say crimed? I did, didn't I? I'm not a criminal. How dare you, mischief makers? They came to support me in my old age crondom, And even though I do look quite fabulous, if I say so myself, and not bad for a dying woman, but I'm not terminal yet. But the dying has been happening for a very long time, people. I'm even getting bored of the dying. Like, there comes a point in your time of your life where you just want it all to end. But, you know, I better be careful or get some motherfucker trying to strangle me again, right? The last time I wanted to die, that manifested very terrifyingly. So anyway, no, I love my life, and I love my friends, and I love even my strange kids that are out there doing their own splonging and their own shadows. Fuck it. Thanks, COVID, for all the shit you put on us so that everyone's acting out and going into some sort of weird spiralling of weird either despair or re-innovation. Thanks for that, by the way. But we will thrive, people of Earth. Together we will thrive. Did I not say the other day, Ubuntu, Ubuntu. I need to sleep. I'm slurring my words like a drunken sailor. I'll annoy Jared by sleeping in the car on the way up. He's used to me passing out and doing that on our little day trips to places. I'm very boring to have in my... I don't know why they keep me in their lives. I'm very boring. They put me in the car, take me somewhere like Byron Bay, and I pass out. I wake up when we're there. Are we there yet? Yep, okay, I'm awake now. I'm a brat, aren't I? That's Miss Five. She runs this body, mind and spirit more than the other, you know, the other aspects of my personality. They're not alters, by the way. All right, Mama T can be a bit of an alter, like, do not fuck with the Tanya. If she's in danger, if that alter kicks in, look out, boys. But I haven't, my psychiatrist says, and he's a professional, that I actually don't have dissociative identity disorder. Miraculous, isn't it? But I have owned my little personas and I've given them personalities because I do recognise them as powerful in their own right. Miss Five, that little brat, she'll knock me out, put me to sleep. Everything will be sweet again. I'll get there, I'll be in all blazing glory, driving my poor friend Jared nuts. But he does love me. As I said, you should see these signs. Actually, I might make a little video when we're up there and show you our little market stalls and how we've set them up and show you Jared's signs because I don't have them with me. And he's so talented, and I'm so grateful to have creative, soul-nurturing, life-affirming, stubborn, determined to have me in their lives, wonderful artistic and musical friends in my life. I'm just so honoured and delighted by that. 2nd of December 2021. I just had a meditation. I got 3 words. 3. Bridget or Birgitta or Bridget. Later I was shown the Star Trek ship USS Enterprise. So the word Enterprise was important. And another word, coagulate or coalition or possibly coalesce. No idea what any of this means, but these are my messages. I still haven't met, I did have a friend called Bridget at the casino, but I think we'd fallen out by then. Had we fallen out by then? Anyway, I don't have any Bridgets in my life right now. I do have a wonderful friend in Holland called Brechtje, which is Dutch for Bridget, so maybe it relates to her. And enterprise is my little enterprise, trying to get my little business up and running. I have to roll my eyes. I'm doing this without resources, without money, and on my last nerve. Can you tell? Anyway, and coagulate or coalition. Things coming together, congealing, moulding together, making one big unitary thing. working together. But that would be cooperation. Anyway, that message makes sense as of today's date. Kinda, sorta. Surprised to see this comment from 2009. So I'll read the comment first because otherwise none of this shit will make sense. And if I'm going to talk shit, real shit about my life, it needs to make sense, right? Because I don't do nonsense. I don't do crazy. I don't do abstract. I don't do lies, deception, and I absolutely cannot tolerate nonsense. As my English forensic psychiatric nurse friend Gail used to say, you can't make sense out of nonsense, which was part of her psychiatric jargon for dealing with mad people all day long, right? She'd do it with a little smirk too, like this. I mean, in some ways she was quite delightful, but she was also an evil cow. I have a history of drawing evil people into my life who for some mad reason I found delightful, like my mother. But in actual fact, she drew me into her life since she gave birth to me, right? So I didn't, well, they say you choose your parents in the spirit world, so, well, I must have been off my face in the etheric realms that day, just saying. Mother! Anyway, it's delightful. It's delightful that I can laugh about it now. From the 2nd of December 2009, I've decided today that I was born to be a shaman, but unfortunately I have only been a sham so far. Shame, man. And so that was my comment. Surprised to see this comment from 2009. That's how long I've been in denial about being a shaman, by the way. I only started studying shamanism 2 years ago. This was back in 2021, so I started studying that in 2019 after my life experience that got a little bit too fucking real. Well, joined various groups and shared my experiences. And I say here, and it's not actually true, I am not a shaman because I didn't want to take on any more labels, right? No idea what I am anymore. I left almost all the groups after fighting with various shamans about the swastika and their lack of empathy or even basic understanding about the Holocaust. Because you can't make sense out of nonsense. You can't make sense out of bigotry, anti-Semitism, racism, othering, misogyny, misandry, other cruelties and sadisms imposed upon other human. There's no sense. You can't even debate with people like that who are so hateful logically because they're missing bits of their frontal lobe. They're not. I know I'm often not here because I disassociate or I choose not to engage with with shitty vileness, but these people are literally lopped off. They're missing parts of it. They have no empathy. They're reptilians or psychopaths or sociopaths. They're just not fucking here. Now, all my sociopathic followers just went, fuck you, I'm turning you off. Bye, Felicia. But because when you're not there, right? There's nothing, you can't do anything to put them back in there. It's missing. It's a missing fucking link. And unfortunately, there's a lot more of that around. 3 guesses why. Don't even need 3 guesses. You can do it in 1 guess. Anyway, so I know I am still a Jew and will always fight for my people. Even though my own community spent decades kicking me right in the face and stabbing me in the back too. But I will never allow anti-Semitism on my watch. nor stand by or ignore other bigotry either. Oh no, I won't. Oh no, I won't. Because I survived people from that war. And I have the human integrity and decency to know how that ended up, for survivors even, aka me. So I won't stand idly by while my neighbour bleeds, literally. And anyway, I continue. Still 2021, people. It's a beautiful photo of Waiheke Island. Waiheke Island. Apparently the mega wealthy have bunkers all over that place now. It's become a very wealthy resort. And the title of it says, did you know Waiheke Island is the third most populated island in New Zealand after the North and South Islands? It also has over 40 kilometres of beaches, including this one, Palm Beach. My mother took me there when I was 13, when she was about to rob me of my ancestral land. On a handshake, my grandfather gave her a 1/4 acre of land designated for me, right? And my mother promised she would make sure I inherited that land. And she bought another 3/4 block adjoining, and then she robbed me. By the time I was 15 years old, by the way, the evil. Let's say it what it is, the evil cunt. Anyway, my grandfather's land that my mother stole from me. He shook hands with her that I was to inherit it. Whatever. ACOPEC criminals run in my family line. There's the Freudian slip earlier when I said criminal instead of crime something instead of crime. My brain's already leapt ahead and read this, even though I haven't done a preview of this. You see my own shock and emotions at my own writings, like you did yesterday. It's hilarious, isn't it? It's just hilarious. Oh, there's the rest of that Palm Beach. Waiheke Island. It's a beautiful place, by the way. I could have been living there in my crondom. Oh, but I would have been surrounded by pretentious, wealthy people who hide in bunkers that are all doom and gloomers and actually hate the rest of humanity. No, I wouldn't have liked that. Thank you for saving me, you evil cunt, from living in Waiheke Island with spoilt rich people. But still, I could have just sat on my land and lived my own quiet little life and been happy. Couldn't I? Pondering on selling my car. Since I won't be allowed to go anywhere except the supermarket and doctor as of the 17th of December. The thing mostly sits on my driveway going nowhere as it is. That thing's getting new tyres on Monday, that thing that goes nowhere. I suppose I've got to keep tyres on it, otherwise I'll have a terrible accident. I don't want to die in a car crash. I had a close shave with death when I was 7 in a very terrible accident. And I tell you what, watching the accident about to happen, time fucking slows right down. Like when I watched the truck sliding into my car on the 9th of August. So I acted out by actually spending the afternoon talking to some nice man who was mad, also a bit mad for me. But you get that. But he was a gentleman, thank God. My psychiatrist went berserk. He said, "What are you doing in the face of death? You go and court further danger by going to some man's house with him and talking to him for 5 hours. We only talked. We really only talked. But still, it was risk-taking, just saying. It was a risk. But I was just freshly grieving Beauregard, who died only a week, 8 days before, on the 1st of August. And I was ripped open, raw, and all my meridians like fucking blasted apart. And then this truck slides into me and I'm watching it. And I'm like, oh well. The last thought before he pulled in front of me, narrowly missing me, was, well, I'm fucked. That's going to be my last words. Do you know what my first words were as a child, as a baby, as a young infant? Cup of tea. Cup of tea. Because my mother shrieked for a cup of tea every morning, made my father get up and, make me a cup of tea, David! He'd get up and make her one. Honestly, they must have had a really weird relationship when you think about it. But anyway, because I heard the constant shrieking for a cup of tea, my first words were, cup of tea. I mean, it's sweet, isn't it? Not really when you think about it. I'm having chamomile tea to calm my nerves slightly because I'll be all right. I'll settle petal. I can settle myself without the use of psych meds for the last 7 years. But, you know, I can be a bit florid and activated and delightful in small doses. Anyway, it won't be much, talking about my car, it won't be much use in an actual state of emergency as the roads get blocked and I have no money to escape anywhere with. Fragile feeling. This is all at the height of COVID, right? When our motherfucker governments across the globe terrorised everyone in every country with this threat of impending death and locked certain personalities in our homes. Because I will not comply with any government regime. No, I won't. They'll have to forcibly come to me and shoot me in the face. And let's face it, that's been done in history before. But I will not comply. I will not be owned or controlled by even a government entity. An egregore of evil that has taken over all our planet. No. Dying is always an option, but there is no real death, people. We transition these bodies and we start again. And if I have to start again, motherfuckers, and come back to this planet and do this shit all over again, I will be even more powerful and more dangerous, and I'll come for every last motherfucking one of you that tried to destroy my life in this one, and I will remember. Trust me on that. Eyes are coming for you, one way or the other, she says in her sweet little fantasies. But the ghost of David Davidson knows. He had to say goodbye and get closure because he knows I'll fucking come for them one by one. I don't know how or what, but the gods have my back. They always have and they always will, because I'm a good woman who didn't deserve the horror that was inflicted upon me since early childhood. My beautiful friend Deborah Starr said, keep it, you never know what's coming. The car. See how everyone thinks a car is a safety mechanism? It really isn't. I mean, it is if you can drive away from a fire or can drive away from an explosion somewhere, but how are you going to drive away from an entire COVID epoch where everyone's terrorised, and everyone's compliant because they didn't have any balls to stand up against it. How can you drive away from that? There's nowhere to go. That was a very difficult thing that I had to live through for the last few years. The awareness that there was nowhere to go. The only option was to keep fighting by speaking my truth, which I did do, or suicide, which is always subconsciously or almost subcutaneously under my fucking skin, writhing, an option. Because, as I said in a video yesterday, I will not be slaughtered like Boadicea of old, unable to escape with my own people. I will go like the Jews in Masada. You will not inflict any more suffering on me, egregiously. You will not. I will not allow it. There are two choices: fight on your feet or die on your feet. And here I am, fighting for my beautiful future that is starting to unfurl and manifest. I've seen it. I've seen it in recent months. I have witnessed it, and it is astonishing, but a bit delightful. The unfurling. And like the water lily coming out of the darkness, out of the drab and the muck, we are all going to bloom, people. I'm going to bloom, and you're going to bloom with me. Stick with me, kids. Pardon me. I don't know how, but the potential is already here. We just have to make it happen now by our own attitude to life, which is, what is my attitude to life? Never let the bastards grind you down. Even though they do wear me out from time to time. They do grind me down from time to time. But there is always another uprising. Always. Another uprising. My beautiful people of Earth. I replied, Deborah Starr, hun, a car won't save us from the coming tyranny. But yes, I'm keeping it going for now. It might just be worth enough to pay for a cheap funeral if the worst happens. Cheerful thoughts. Christ. You know I'm getting older and fragile, that I focus on my own fucking funeral and how I'm going to pay for it. But anyway, it's all sorted, darlings. I'm getting a little tiny, almost insulting bit of settlement from the TVT tape claim, and I'll put that aside for my funeral that way. The next time I get sick and think I'm on my last legs, I don't have to lie there sweating and writhing and freaking out about who's going to dispatch me off this mortal coil. Because I'm quite attached to this hump of hobbit flesh, you know. You do worry what's going to happen to it after you're gone. I know you're supposed to rot down and all that, but someone has to deal with the actual, you know. Like I had to put all my parents' ashes at Wellington Point, you know. Someone has to deal with it. And when it's dealt with, it's done. But in the meantime, it's a worry. I'm so hot again, even. Oh, man. Come to me. Cover me in kisses, baby. Cover me in love. La 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 la. Never be enough. Da da. Oh, Blondie. It's Blondie, isn't it? Debbie Harry. Yeah. It's Debbie. Oh, because I'm reading about Deborah. See how my brain is lateral, like. All right, Deborah Starr, my beautiful girl, my beautiful woman, my beautiful friend, says, ouch, I have similar cheerful thoughts. Oh no, wait a minute. Oh, Deborah Starr, I say, it was last serviced on 20th of May 2019. So in a year and a half, it's not quite done 10k. That is how little I drive it. And Deborah replied, ouch, I have similar cheerful thoughts. The car is probably my most expensive item. Petrol, insurance, rego, servicing, etc. But I feel safer having it. Yeah, every time I have a kind of a meltdown, I'm going to get rid of the car. I'm going to get out of this shithole. I need money. I don't need a car that's not being used. But everyone freaks out and go, Tanya, keep your car, keep your car, keep your car. What are you going to do without a car? What am I going to do? What I'm doing now? Stuck in my house, all isolated and fucking getting weirder as I get older. Oh, dear goddess. Anyway, I said, yes, insurance, rego, etc. keeps me very poor. I almost think I would be better off without it, but it's a symbol of my freedom of movement, which thanks to that evil, perverted, Palaszczuk bitch, I no longer have anyway. Well, I have my freedom of movement again, till the next time they pull that kind of evil stunt. I think freedom of movement, says Deborah, is vitally important, especially now when we can be thrust into a C-19 lockdown so very easily. But then if you're in a lockdown, where are you going to go with your car anyway? You're locked down. But anyway, she was talking me through it, right? She's a beautiful woman. She is a beautiful woman. She was talking me through it. Ultimately, it's not about the car. It was about the lockdown that I was really pissed off about. I guess I can still access the supermarkets, but then without a car, I could also buy online, although it's more expensive with the delivery fees. So they get you every which way anyhow. And by the way, food got very, very thin on the ground, which with my history of people who survived wars and concentration camps was very fucking triggering. I even wrote on Facebook, Joe Kelly, the Labour Minister for our area, as all politicians do, was self-aggrandising and big-noting himself. Oh, you can get meat at Woolies and Coles. And I replied, no, you fucking can't. I said, I went down there. There's no meat, no cheap meat at all, only the most hideously expensive steaks, which I never eat steak because I can't afford it. Very rarely. When my beautiful friend Lynn will buy me a massive big steak every now and then. Probably because she thinks I get iron deficient, which I probably do. And but I don't buy expensive cuts of meat, people. I can't afford to eat like that. I wouldn't survive financially. So I'm yelling at this Joe Kelly, and I said, by the way, I've been down there, they've actually price gouged, it's all, well, they did it in a very subtle way, withdrew all the cheap meats off the thing, making people go into panic mode, thinking there was no food, right, and only sold the most expensive cuts. I said, I won't be supporting those big mega corporations. I said, they're fucking us. I said, I've been down to Aldi and they're even getting a bit thin on the ground, but at least they have more variety and still have cheaper cuts of meat for us poorer people. And I said, by the way, Joe Kelly, if this continues much longer, there will be riots and I will be starting them. Let me sort this out. I'll speak to them immediately. I'll sort this out for you, Tanya. Yeah, whatever. The same man, under the auspices of his government, promoting this. You can't trust them. You can't trust any of them. Any of the political parties now. They are all untrustworthy. That's how I feel about that. I wonder why I feel that. Only a few years prior, about a year or so prior to the COVID thing, I befriended Joe Kelly, our Labour MP. He it was inappropriate actually when I think back on it. He actually cold called me and said, "Oh, I'm gathering information as a lobbyist on the dying with dignity issue, and I see you write a lot about that on Facebook." And I said, "Yes, I believe that every human being has a right to euthanasia and to die with dignity," right? Which I do believe, because I saw the most immense suffering inflicted on my family members. I mean, yes, they were evil bastards to me, and I'd had a terrible childhood with them. But however, when it came to their dying, they actually deserved better than that. We all do. We all deserve better than that. So I fought hard on the issue of dying with dignity. Then a year or so later, after meeting this Member of Parliament in the most extraordinary way, him cold calling me asking him who the hell he was and why was he calling me, because I was a bit suicidal that day. Unbeknownst to him, he picked a bad day to call me. I was right in writhing in the abyss, right? So of course he got the full Tanya experience. Who the hell are you and what do you want? And he said, "Oh, I'm a member of Parliament, blah, blah." I said, which political party? and he was actually quite witty and funny. I'll give him credit. He said to me, "Oh, if I tell you which political party, will you still talk to me?" And I said, "It depends which one." And I said, "Oh, wait." I said, "If you hear the phone go clunk," which phones don't go clunk anymore, you just press the button, right? But I said, "If you hear the phone go clunk, you'll know it's one I don't approve of." And he just started laughing. Because let's face it, all men, across all political spectrums, are very drawn to the Tanya's fierce, fiery, rebellious, defiant, anarchistic, revolutionary self-determinism. It's that spirit that has kept me alive for 58 years and 7 months and I forget how many days. I don't care anymore. It's just another breath, darling, in this physical incarnation. It's just another fucking breath. But anyway, he thought I was quite wonderful, didn't he? So he invited me to some domestic violence fundraiser the next day. And not the next day, only a few days from our discussion on the phone. So along I went, dressed to the hilt in my full defiant Mama T, the Tanya persona, with my top hat and my Maggie Shepherd, pantsuit, looking fabulous, darlings. And all these women were staring at me like, who is she? Who is she? I'm nobody, babies. I'm nobody. But I can dress and rise to the occasion when the gods call upon it. And so I did. So yes, anyway, we're not friends anymore, Mr. Kelly and I, because of the... But that's okay, because life will go on and things will settle and the truth will always be revealed, and true hearts and minds with honour and integrity will see me and recognise my truth-telling and my spirit, and they will honour me accordingly, and the rest of the motherfuckers, malfeasant, treacherous creatures, will crawl away into their own obliteration and oblivion, as we are all destined to do one day, crumble into our own dust. And ultimately, life will continuously go on for the next generation and the next and the next. I only hope and pray we remain humans, because humans are treacherous, deceptive, ugly motherfuckers, by and large. But there are beautiful ones out there. Beautiful, soulful, gorgeous, wonderful humans that make up for the evil ones. More than make up for them. You only need one, in a sea of enmity to shine bright like a diamond. Only need one to give you enough hope to get through another fucking day. And so it is. Never mind, I said, raving on about the groceries. I have survived 3 strangulations, serious debilitating discrimination over many years, sure as should have, and marginalisation and poverty. I can survive this shit for now. And Deborah replied, yep, I know that you can. And my beautiful Kellyanne, who I've never met, I haven't met either of these women in real life. We're just Facebook friends. Well, not just. Very powerful, supportive, loving Facebook friends. Kellyanne wrote, all our carbon guzzling cars are going on the scrap heap soon anyway. She's a scientist and, I get her mentality. It's probably a smart move getting out now and recouping what money you can. I can't afford electric either, so once this car dies, unless a rebate is offered, I'm going to be housebound also. A lot of us are going to be unable to be independent soon. That's a worry. You will own nothing and be happy, say the WEFers. Well, they can F off too. The government doesn't care, neither does society. Vulnerable people just don't matter, not anymore. Me. Vulnerable people never mattered. They have been bringing us to the brink of suicide for decades. Fuck the elitist bastards and their social experiments and Agenda 21. Every day is a battlefield. But I am still breathing, and so are you. So that, my dear, is a defiance and triumph par excellence. And she replied, we never mattered much, but with capitalism, we matter ever less each passing second. Oh, pardon me. And I wrote earlier that morning, 1:19 a.m, must attempt sleep, Lila Tov, see you on the flip side, which I joke is the Phillips side because my maiden name was Phillips, right? Flip side, work with me, babies. You just got to eliminate a couple of syllables and you get flip. That's what I'm saying there. Don't flip out. I am a cunning linguist, a healer with words, and a wordsmith. So I play with words sometimes. I've even been known to make up my own ones and create my own reality, and in a world gone mad, sometimes that's the best thing you can do. Create a more beautiful, potent, loving reality for yourself and for your beloveds around you. And my determined Jared is working hard, he's worked very hard to help me create my new reality by dragging me, even though I'm not very well in general, to the markets today. Because he wants to see me prosper and thrive and have all the wonderful things I've always dreamt about in my life. He's been very supportive and loving. So thank you, Jared. And thank you to all my other beautiful soul friends who are supportive and loving and witness my becoming as I witness yours. 2nd of December 2020, 3:30 a.m, another sleepless night. Oh my. I hope I crash and burn soon. I've got to fix that, that's not right. My eyes hurt. Too much going on in my head, but life is good, so I choose to embrace my current bout of hypomania. See what happens every fucking December? But I'm okay with it. I really am. Robin, Peter and Elsa invited me for a cup of tea, and I could not stop blathering. I had to apologise as I barely gave anyone a chance to respond when I am like, as I barely give anyone a chance to respond when I am like this. Oh dear goddess. I tell you what, my friends find me so amusing and interesting and intriguing. They put up with a lot. No one else would put up with that. You know, they really wouldn't. Well, they wouldn't have the mental capacity to put up with it. I guess I'm lucky that a lot of my friends are extremely bright and also have their own trauma issues, so they kind of get it when I go off my tree like I'm skirting around to do at the moment. No, but this time it's not an off your tree thing in a bad way. It's excitement, you know, like I've hit the ground running last week with having to see the urologist and all the test last night, and off to the markets today, and you know, I've hit the ground running, and so I need to amp up my vibration so I can cope with all the things that are happening. Oh, and my wonderful cousin who's transgender now, well, was always transgender, but has transitioned. She rang me, was it yesterday she rang me? So I'm going to see her on Tuesday as well. So the tyres get done on Monday. And then Tuesday I'm going to visit my beautiful cousin who lives in Cairns but is down in Brisbane at the moment because, and this was astonishing people, her son, Michael, has now transitioned. So, I mean, no judgment. I'm very happy for them to discover their true sexuality and their true gender. But it was a bit of a shock. Father and son are now mother and daughter. So I'm sort of grinding my gears, adjusting to that new reality now. But anyway, I'm going to see my cousin, Militia, she pronounced it Militia Rose. I'm going to see Militia Rose on Tuesday. We used to have monthly meetups at the Maya Centre years ago before he became she migrated to Cairns. So we used to have little make the effort to see each other because we had no other family really. We found each other on ancestry.com when I was posting up all the family history via another cousin who did all the research and work and just handed it to me and said, put it up please, and you know, you be like the caretaker of all this garnered, you know, information, data. And so the three of us worked hard together making sure we put all the family things up. So that was quite wonderful, and also a very healing and cathartic process because by going through all the generations back in my familial line, my paternal line and my maternal line, what did I discover? Trauma, more and more trauma. One of my father's great-grandmothers she had 12 children and she lost 8 to typhus in 1 year. Imagine that. So all that grief and trauma is all in our fucking DNA, in our race memory and in our DNA. And that gave me, ironically, a lot of peace because I thought, well, that explains the constant frickin' squidginess that goes on in our family line, right? It's no one's fault, but man, it's intense. It's really intense. But anyway, on a happy note, continuing on about my visiting with Robin, Peter and Elsa, who's 94 now and currently on the descent into Valhalla, my beautiful girl. She's now confined to a bed all the time, but 94. To you, Elsa, who has as powerful a spirit as I have and whose ancestry is Jewish too. I took one look at her. I said, Elsa's a Scottish name. She said, yes, I'm named after a little island in Scotland. I had to Google it. And she said, but my family are Jewish. So there you go. And she has my fiery, wild, Scottish ancestry as well. Viking, berserker, but Jewish spirit. I really do. I do love her. But I haven't been able to see her because since she went into decline, as Robin said, that she won't remember me now, and it'll just be distressing. And I would have actually liked to see her again, whether she remembers me or not, because her spirit will know that I'm there, right? Her soul will know that I'm there with her, holding her precious. But Robin and Peter are her son and daughter-in-law, and they make these decisions, and it's not my place to intervene, And like all my beloved ones, Elsa will come to me when she passes. I will know, because that's what they do. They seem to all do that, even my enemies. Although I admit I don't appreciate it when my enemies come to haunt me when they die, like that motherfucker David Davidson. But the ones who truly love me or have some soul connection to me, like Susie van der Kwas did, they come to me. So hopefully not in the near future. Elsa still has time. I have spoken. But what kind of a life is it, confined to a bed all gaga, sitting in your own shit and piss? Oh dear Goddess. Please be merciful to her, God. Please be merciful to her in the appointed time. Anyway, Robin, Peter and Elsa invited me for a cup of tea, and I could not stop blathering. I had to apologise, as I barely give anyone a chance to respond when I'm like this. Sorry, repeating there. Robin was very kind and said she enjoys how my mind takes all sorts of lateral segues. Peter said he himself is a mad scientist, which he is, quite mad like me, but in the nicest possible way, except when we have blazing rows. Oh my goodness. Blazing fucking row. And then I said to him, this is like being married. I have to go now. Bye. Don't even talk to me for the next 3 days. And I just detach and walk off. He's so mad that he'd just pick up where he left off like nothing happened, right? I mean, oh dear Goddess. But anyway, lovely friends, and I do value and appreciate them. So if you're watching my video, I do love you, even though I'm honest about who you are as people. Because I'm honest about who I am as a person too. I told him being a mad scientist is a good thing, as it means he has extra neurons synapsing and can create great things, which he's in the process of designing a beach buggy, which is amazing. He's showed me all the prototypes and he gets so excited, and I get excited for him because I hope he has great success with it. I really do. Brilliant minds who work hard at their craft deserve to succeed, yes? Yes. Elsa admired my hands, which are swollen from the heat and my incessant activities. She said I had small hands. Now bear in mind, I did not have a lot of positive mothering during my childhood, except from my close family friend that lived 3 doors down, who also was of Norwegian Viking background and was loving and nurturing to me. So I hunger sometimes for that nurturance from an older woman. Isn't that sad? It's a bit sad, but it is what it is. So she said I had small hands and sort of stroked them in a motherly way. I replied that I have big hands and big feet, as I am a hobbit. But what can I do but go on adventures without my personal Bilbo Baggins? And if Bilbo Baggins shows up in my life and we have enough money, babies, the adventures we will be going on, because I'm still maintaining my dream of visiting all the sacred sites across the world, I just need $20 million. Maybe I don't need 20 million. I wonder how much it would cost to travel all around the world with accommodation and food and a little bit of comforts, because we're not young anymore, to travel around the world, every sacred site on the planet. Probably would cost at least $1 million or $2 million, wouldn't it? Wouldn't be cheap. Anyway, that's one of my psychedelic dreaming dreams that I'm hoping one day, before I get too old and frail, so I can still walk and still get myself to these spaces, see them with my own mortal hobbit eyes, and smell them with my own mortal hobbit schnoz, and walking up the top of Machu Picchu without enough oxygen will be a risk, though, because I lack oxygen at the best of times. But I'll find a way. I'll get myself a little fucking oxygen tank, and I'll get up the top there, and I'll just look at it all. And knowing me, the arsehole that I am, I'll go, well, I'm here now, let's go and have a cup of tea. It's no big deal. But I will fulfill my promises to myself. If I don't make it in this physical body in this incarnation, I'll fly to all those spaces as a spirit, and I'll just sit around looking at it all going, oh yeah, pity I don't have smell-o-vision anymore. Anyway, that's how my mind works, people. She showed me, this is Elsa, her 90-year-old hands, which were inflamed at the joints from osteoarthritis. And I said, I think my hands will be like hers in a few years' time, as the swelling under the skin I am getting is very weird. And also my grandmother, my father's mother, was crippled with her hands were literally gnarled like crone-like claws, crippled with arthritis. So I've seen how that ends up. Not pretty, people, but my hands are not too bad today, thank God. Not too bad at all. There's a little bit of a swelling there, but nothing to worry about. Anyway, I better hurry up. It's nearly 10 o'clock, people, for the love of all the gods. When I left, I had an urge to ask her for a hug. She shyly hugged. We hugged. It was lovely. I miss having a mother, I suppose. Although during my childhood, my only real mother was my neighbour, Mrs. June Robertson. Her hugs were amazing. Still miss you, June. I still miss you, wherever you be. My computer's frozen again. Why does it do that when I'm in the middle of a video? I also stopped in at Margot's place and we all chatted, although I apologised for popping in just on dinner time, as time had gotten away from me, as I have been so frenetically busy. Margot gave me some sweet potato chips. Yum. So I just realised I have reverted to my childhood state where I would wander into people's houses and be utterly spoiled with desserts or dinners or cups of tea, and more importantly, be accepted and adored for my peculiar, quirky ways. I was a really very, very sweet but very damaged but very determined little child. Life has brought me full circle, which is very cute in a way. 9:15 a.m. Awake after about 4 hours sleep, but grateful for that rest at last. My brain has been on overdrive, also my body relentlessly pushing itself like the Mustang quay I am. Summer fever, and it's barely the beginning of summer. I hope today is less hypomanic as I move through it a bit more gently and serenely. At 2 a.m, it was so stifling hot that I went outside and lay in my hammock. I had my sarong on, so I laid myself bare under the tree and fussed and mused. The possums came and climbed through the macadamia nut tree and into the golden rain tree and sat above my head and carefully watching me. They are like little wild pets now. Mama Poss, Lily, studied me for some time, probably trying to work out why I was in her nightscape with my naked, fat, hobbit body slung between worlds, insomniacally writhing on my last exhausted but temporal nerve. I soaked up her unconditional but prosaic love like a sponge at the bottom of a post-apocalyptic, sun-scorched ocean. It was quite wonderful and blissful. The only awake human in my sacred space garden, with my trees and the possums and my stoic determination to thrive. But Bobo decided that his mama should not be outside alone, so he set up a hue and a cry, and as it was the middle of the night and the mosquitoes had started to torpedo my flesh anyway, I reluctantly returned to my bed. Otherwise, I might have fallen asleep in the hammock, which would have been an astonishing view given that I'd laid myself bare for the early morning dog walkers that would have come past between 4, 5, 6 o'clock. Oh dear goddess, Bobo was quite right. I needed to be up in my bed, safe and sound, hidden from view. Bobo was a gentleman. You was a gentleman, Bobo. For one brief moment, I had felt like Bathsheba bathing in the moonlight and was smugly relieved that there was no King David to lecture around me, but we all know how that goes. Break the spell. But my love runs deep, and like a Mustang bolting out of the wolf's den, I had my characteristic little aberration and wrote mad love texts, and so fell for the lure and made a damn fool of myself again. Oh dear goddess, oh dear goddess. Stuck again. But I was authentic, I was courageous, and I was factual. Real love, keeping it real, even as my Charlie spits it out as a corn chip, and my heart is just as salty and brittle. C'est la vie. The Tanya rises again on her tippy toes of fate. Too late, but she accepts her plate. The festive repast of the regurgitated past, amusingly bemused by the heart's strange and unforgotten lustre, even amidst my sanguine but cantankerous bluster, which I sink like a stone in a pool of deepest, most eternal love, and smile. It's just another wave of lost opportunity and regret, and a reminder of the sabotage and the ancient curses. Shake it off like a pearl diver's dog and begin again. L'chaim, to life, onwards and upwards, babies. Young Harrison, who was 12, not 14, appeared at my back door. I was fussing over something in my laundry, so got a bit of a fright. He asked if the pictures on the street were free. I said, yes, they are out there for anyone who wants them. He said he wanted the one with the tulips and windmill to give to his opa. I replied, perfect. I smiled, perfect. The tulips are being rehomed with another tulip. Kismet. I told him I did that tapestry when I was 9 years old, so it is 46 years old. He was very impressed. He took 2 other tapestries as an early Christmas present for his grandmother. Sweet boy. I told him gently that if they don't like or want them, because they were quite old and starting to get moth-eaten, that if they don't like or want them, to not get upset, as they are very old and the frames need renovating and the tapestries need a good clean. I told him how to clean them with bran in an old stocking. Since he ended up taking 3 of them, I offered to drive him home, as it is too hot and cumbersome to carry them. He tells me he would like to visit Germany and Holland. That is his background. You see how little souls find me from the same ancestral lines? It's actually quite miraculous. It's sometimes a little bit weird and astonishing, but miraculous all the same. I tell him I am glad the tulips are going to his Dutch opa, as that is like keeping it in the familiar, as he is my friend. I smiled my wry smile. Funny old world, innit? Okay. Still in 2020, I will not be diminished even by death, which is staring me in my own face again. And no, I won't. I will not be diminished. I will have my time on planet Earth every day in every way, and no man, woman or child or government or culture or religion will ever fucking diminish me ever again. Just had a call from my GP's clinic. I made an appointment for tomorrow. Turns out there is a problem with my upper abdomen. No shit, Sherlock. Constant pain for the past 2 years does not lie. I hope it's nothing too serious, but oh well, that's another condition that I was offered no treatment for, by the way, which is why you see me constantly doing this and burping and all night refluxing like a wolfie, because nothing gets done. They just slide me along, hoping that I'll just drop dead. And by the grace of the God and my psychiatrist's grace and determination and fierce fight for me, I'm finally getting treatment, about to get treatment for my bladder issues after 8 years of suffering like a wild animal, by the way. So I only just did the ultrasound last night, so all I can hope and pray is that I'm actually not terminal from this, and hope the results show that there's still something to fucking work with, right? Because in a way, I am worried about that. Dying of bladder cancer will be bloody awful. But let's hope that I have a few more years on planet Earth for my long continuance and my thriving and my joie de vivre and my future, my wonderful future that I have been manifesting for 58 and just over a half years. I need another drink. 2nd of December 2019. I got to hurry up because it's now 10:07. Jared's picking me up at 11. Oh dear goddess. Mama T, why are you over-functioning at the moment? What are you trying to prove? At the end of the day, you're just going to be smoke and ashes, baby, and you don't even get the luxury and the privilege and the honour of a true Viking funeral, because apparently they're illegal in Australia. So that's fucked. So I'm just going to be a little burnt potato chip in some horrible crematorium somewhere and blown out to sea at Byron Bay by my daughters who hate my guts. Actually, they probably won't do that honour because they hate my guts. Well, I hated my parents' guts as too, but I gave them that honour because they were my parents. All three of those motherfuckers. They're at King Island. Because I'm a bit evil, I put them all together. They worked against me together, so they stay together for eternity. Babies. But anyway. Oh well. Someone kind and loving will put me in Byron Bay in the sea. I was considering a Jewish burial, which is a traditional way, but a Jewish burial costs $14,000 now. I mean, what the fuck? Jewish burials are the most basic funerals you can get because all it is a basic pine box. Nothing, no trims, no fripperies, no opulence, nothing fancy, because in death we are all equals, right? 14 grand. So no, Mama T will eventually just be smoke and ashes, baby. And even when I burn at my most smoking hot, I'll still be powerful. And I'll come to all my beloveds as a spirit, and you will know that I have transitioned from this mortal coil at last. Oh dear goddess. Oh dear goddess. Anyway, I love my life. I've fought hard for it every moment of every day, like everyone else who is alive has done. Some of us have had to fight more than others though, just saying. 2nd of December 2019. I just weighed myself and have dropped 2 kilos in a week. Now weigh 88.8 kilos. I was 90.440 kilos on my home scales, or 88.6 kilos on doctor's one last Monday. Too scared to have any heavy meals after last Tuesday's bad gastric asthma attack. I have painful hemorrhoids now also. Not cool. What the fuck was going on with me back then? That was just only a few months recovering from the gallbladder surgery, by the way. I got slammed every which way, just like I got slammed every which way when Beauregard died in 1st of August. It's like, when the gods decide to slam me, it's like constant bang, bang, bang. And I'm literally still, even now, in this moment in time, hitting the ground running, trying to outrun it all ever so slightly. How am I going? Am I ahead of the game or what? I'm not sure. I guess I'll find out in due course. The heat is making me feel uncomfortable also. Still weak and having hot flushes and generally feeling awful. At least my gut has settled down. Asthma has been constantly bad. Still is. Although I noticed when I had to breathe in and hold my breath for the ultrasound last night that I was actually able to hold my breath quite comfortably. So that's a good sign. It's like the problem is mainly upper respiratory, but I can actually get a bit more air down in here, which is unusual. Usually struggle even to do that. So I'm on the mend, people, by the will of God, Be'ezrat Hashem. I am on the mend. I hope I'm not in manic denial as well. I am due to get my, because I'm always a realist, I'm due to get my blood test results by tomorrow or Wednesday. That should be interesting as I had my bloods done on Friday morning after that epic attack Tuesday. And they came back okay, so what the fuck was that? I was so ill I thought I was going to die. I have felt like I'm dying all week. Perhaps I am. It's a long, long dying. I guess in between I have moments where I'm kind of fabulous, so there is that. Live your best life, people. Be radiant. Hold thy ground, no matter what, no matter who, no matter where, no matter how, no matter why. Just because you can. Hold your ground wherever you are in the cosmos, in your physical forms or etheric forms. I just took my first dose of HRT Ovestin. That was a mistake. That blew out my gallbladder, didn't it? I need to take it every night for a week, then reduce to every 3 days. This was after my gallbladder was taken out. I didn't know, I read it in an article later, much later, that the fricking HRT they give us for our man-on-pause actually blows out your gallbladder. Ka-ching! 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 Everything they give you to heal you kills something else, by the way. Maybe not immediately, but over time. And you go to the doctor and you go, oh, I think this has gone wrong with me. And they actually smile at you like ghouls going, ka-ching. Yes, I've slowly been killing you, but it's okay because Big Pharma pays me handsomely for my latest necklace. Well, maybe necklace. My latest Lexus and my holiday home in the Riviera. But come to me, you dumb motherfucker. Tell me what else is wrong, and I'll smile at you. Oh, you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be doing this. You should. Here, take another pill. Try this. She even tried to force statins on me, which are very toxic, by the way. So here I am, medication-free apart from my asthma medication and my vitamin D, which I forgot to take the last 2 days. Must take my vitamin D, people. And my folic acid for my homocystinemia so I don't have a stroke, people. Here I am, thriving in my psychedelic dream without medications. Well, until they have to pump something into me for the fucking bladder. Oh, dear goddess. I'm not even sure I want to carry on much longer, to be honest. I'm saying that openly. I've told my psychiatrist this too. He just nods because he knows how hard I have fought to be alive on this planet. Constantly. But as my Auntie Sylvia Shine, my Cockney Jewish friend, used to always love to tell me, better times are a-coming, and they are here. I am seeing it unfurling, all the loveliness I've experienced in recent months, the love that has been presented to me and took me by surprise when it came from certain quarters, but lovely. So the better times are here, right now, in this moment, in this space, from now on, we're going to hold on to that and we're going to guard it and keep it more precious than a dragon's hoard, because it's been a long time coming and I have despaired many. I was kept in a state of siege and despair by evil motherfuckers, by the way. So the love and the good times that are coming are well deserved and cherished by me. "2019 looks a bit like Bambi, but I can also see a man with arms outstretched like he is running." And it's one of my coffee readings. I've got to make sure. There it is. It's funny, looking at it now, I don't see Bambi anymore. I see something else, almost looking like a bit of a camel. Isn't that weird? Anyway, Bambi is as Bambi does. Very high winds this morning. I had to bring Mr. Charlie back inside. Just had a cuddle with Sophie, who decided to start eating again yesterday. Like every time I gird my heart to euthanize her, she starts fighting for her life again. But she is a walking skeleton zombie cat now. It's time, but not today. She ate well yesterday. I am too tired and sick myself, so maybe in a few days' time. Love my wee girl. She's a fighter like me. And she really was. A valiant fighter, that little pussycat. 2nd of December 2018. Happy Hanukkah from Tanya, Beauregard, Penny, Socks, Sophie, Charlie, Becky and Betty, and too many goldener fishy to name. The last time I had my whole family with me, my animal fur family. No. First night of Hanukkah. No, I shall let that sadness go. Doesn't belong with me. Weg damit. Can you tell that even though I'm not Dutch by ancestry, but my stepfather was Dutch? Do you see how I even honour my enemies still to this day with cute little things, little Dutch things? And I got this, I bought them at the same time in a second-hand shop. Oh, I've got some jewellery in there. I bought them at the same time. They were delightful. This little box that came from Poland. So I had the Dutch energy and the Polish energy with me that day. Hand-turned bowl from Krakow. Anyway, lovely. Becky Bok just scared the bejesus out of me by leaping on top of me. I didn't even know she was here. Oh dear goddess. She was a lovely chook. A lovely chicken. She literally just jumped into the hammock with me. 33 degrees, man. 33 degrees. Jared, I think we've gone insane. Who goes to the markets in 33 degrees? We do. Second, probably won't be so bad when you're outside and you get the breeze and that. 2nd of December 2017. I had a lovely afternoon with Tarina Eddy. We practiced ukulele, which was fun. Tarina cooked pasta for our lunch and we took Beauregard for a walk to a local park at Woolloongabba. Did you hear that? The door just slightly opened and there's no wind. Everything's closed up. Beau kept trying to unpack her suitcase and managed to sneak 2 pairs of socks out of the case. Naughty boy. So we took him out for a bit of a constitutional. He was trying to eat all her socks. So it was hilarious. Okay, that's outside in the wind. I'm just started to freak out for a minute because I've got bells. I've got a bell at my door and a little bell on my little broomstick. I've got things everywhere to tell me when the spirits are around or the fae are around. But no, that's my outside charm. I won't freak out. It's just kind of funny that there was a little bump, wasn't it? Little bump in the house. Thanks, Tarina, for the lovely day. Did I read that already? I think I did. This would have come in handy for all the millions of cups of tea I was forced to make for my mother, sister, and Case's Clavius, gambling friends. Smirk. And the link is missing, but it was a photo of a woman, a young woman that had, and it was beautiful. I thought about trying to make it, but I can't do leather work very well. And it was... It was a belt or some kind of holster around her, and then it was a teacup and a saucer, but held in some kind of leather constraint, so that at any time she could just pull out a cup and a saucer and have a cup of tea. It's very clever. Anyway, it amused me. Since my first words were cup of tea, I found that very, very, very fucking amusing indeed. I've run out of tea. I've got to go and buy some, actually. I put my last tea bags with my thermos, which reminds me I've got to get cups out of my car before we go. Otherwise I've got no freaking cups. Oh no, there's a cup on the thermos. Yeah, we're sweet. Don't have to panic about that. But anyway, I'm never organised, people. I actually need a full-time team just to get me going and organised. I'm joking about that. Second of December 2015. My Maltese is adorable. Maltese Shih Tzu cross. He's actually more Jack Russell than Maltese, really. He is currently trying to get on my table and steal my brie. Nuh-uh, fool. He just had turkey mince for dinner. And Jared wrote, nice normal puppy. Loving this puppy ownership by proxy. So easy, lol. Lol, you are family, Jared, after 24 years next February. No proxy. I am glad you are happy about the new man in our life. Shared happiness is double the joy. We did have a lot of joy with little Beauregard. We did. My hometown. I am a foreigner to my nascent birthplace now. I truly would have a severe cultural shock like I had in December 2004. I don't think home would ever feel like home to me now. Such an oddity. And a photo of 50 things to do in Wellington, which I'm hoping to somehow manifest enough money fly home in early February to visit my friend Lynn and see my birthplace one more time before I, whatever. Maybe it won't be one more time. If my health gets better and I can get myself into a better financial position, I could go home yearly or something for little visits, little stints. Why do I keep saying one more time? It ain't over till the fat lady sings, but I already sang Nothing Else Matters, so I guess I'm fucking doomed, man. I'm joking about that. It all matters. Everything matters. You matter. I matter. The multiverse matters. We are matter. We just got home from my debrief. My doctor says Bev has Munchausen's by proxy and a bad attachment disorder. Makes sense. I feel something went terribly wrong so quick, and she was so quick to refund the money. She wanted her dog back. She did not have to slander me on her Facebook group, the evil bitch. But I have a lovely little Maltese Shih Tzu who loves me, so I am a richly blessed woman. My doctor thought he is lovely. He told me that Jared is a wonderful friend to take me out on Sunday to buy another puppy. He would have done the same thing. It was exactly what was needed. He said I am a good-hearted woman with a sweet innocence, a loving heart, and generosity of spirit. I've got to work on that sweet innocence. I've got to harden the fuck up a bit more. But no, why should I have to change who I am to fit in with an ugly, malfeasant world? No. I'll maintain my sweet innocence. Miss Five knows best. Miss Five is the most fierce, courageous, awesome warrior goddess of all my little personae. So we need to work on building up my filters so I don't keep falling for abusers and sociopaths. This has been my life's work, and still it happens. 11:24 a.m. Just woke up, exhausted from the last debacle. Thanks to my beautiful friends who know me and love me for your wonderful support. Thank you. Truly and most heartfelt. Thank you. Little Bobo has been sleeping on my bed most of the morning. He is a good little puppy. I have a debrief with my psychiatrist today. I'm sure he will be amazed to hear that I was once again groomed and seduced by a sociopath and the ensuing nastiness. But life moves on. Smiley face. I have to say, life is starting to smooth out now. But instead of getting a Botox to fill up, the Restylane to fill up my big frown crease on my forehead, as the urologist and I joked about, I'll be getting Botox to smooth out the wrinkles in my bladder. We both looked at each other and giggled. Oh, it's delightful, isn't it? I should get rid of this big fucking crease. I look marked by the gods as a victim, don't I? People see that and think, we can put shit on her. Don't recommend you try it though, babies. Won't go well for you. Ultimately, never goes well for the shitheads. Just saying. Anyway, today is going to be a beautiful, magical, wonderful day. So, quickly, we need to finish up. 2nd of December 2014, on the bus home from Bunnings, my glow-in-the-dark resin powder arrived, so I went to get the casting resin, catalyst and shit. Bought 2 herbs as well, German chamomile and heliotrope. They both died, as they do, because I think they're annuals, aren't they? Chamomile's an annual. 2nd of December 2013, Janice Ian, who wrote the song At 17, I Learned the Truth. Oh dear goddess, that was my swan song. At 17, I learned the truth, all right, babies. Here we are. It's a zebra. Where is it? Where are you? Move over. There. There. With a Chanukia on it. Isn't that delightful? I loved it. I laughed so much I cried. I do love zebras. I've got a zebra out at my front door. Want to see it? Oh, you probably, if you watch my videos, you probably have seen it. Zebras are cantankerous, bad-tempered little buggers, like Shetland ponies. They've got a personality. Here they are. There he is. Can you see?